I wonder if people are going to get annoyed with the lozenges, which constantly have to be in my face. I wonder what this video is going to be about. I'm angry at my body. Let's just say it right out of the gate. I'm angry at my body. I'm resentful of my body. I'm feeling disconnected from my body. I feel like I am a floating head, just unhappily tethered to this thing, which just won't get better. I've been sick for almost a month. We're coming up to my 1 month sickness anniversary in 5 days. I think I got COVID at Taylor Swift. By the way, I went to Taylor Swift. If I had to get COVID going to Taylor Swift, it's a price I will pay. I got tickets the same day. It was a miracle. If you want to hear that wild story about how that happened, let me know. That was fine. But the problem is that I have stage 4 endometriosis, which weakens my immune system, which means that when I get sick, I very often then am pretty vulnerable to getting sick and sick and sick and sick and sick. And that is what has happened. So for the last 4 weeks, there has not been a day where I haven't had sore joints, this incessant cough, so much congestion, like brain fog. Half my vocabulary is gone. You're going to figure that out by the end of this video because your girl can't articulate herself anymore. Can't remember names. Total brain fog. Can't go anywhere. Can't see anyone. So angry at my body. This isn't just whinging. There is some like productive, practical stuff to share here. And the reason I do share this stuff, I have talked about bad body image days before. I have talked about endometriosis before. I have talked about what it is like to navigate my relationship. I'm not saying everyone's going to have my relationship with body image, but I think we do very often have a through line, not identical experiences, but a through line in a lot of our experiences. Is because I think that people have an idealistic or perfectionistic view of how body image can manifest through and after recovery that really lets them down, that really puts their focus and their goals in the wrong place. And they're attempting an outcome which is just going to let them down. Which is, and people say it to me all the time, clients say it to me, people say it to me via social media, I just want to reach this one outcome with my body where I want to accept it and love it and celebrate it and all that sort of stuff. And that is wonderful. And that is possible on a spectrum of experiences that you're going to have about your body forever. Because much like your relationship with other people, your relationship with your body is going to change. You might love someone deeply. You are not always going to feel the same way about them. There are times you are going to be angry at them. You are going to be resentful. You are going to be disconnected. You're not going to be aligned on goals and values where you are going to have to work pretty hard to get back on the same page. Because when people say to me, Mia, I want to reach this one feeling about my body forever, I say to them, which body? The body that you've got today, or the body you'll have in 5 years or 10 years, or hopefully like 40, 50 years, if we're all lucky enough to, inhabit the body where time and gravity have, done their thing. Which body are you going to apply that fixed outcome to? My endometriosis will change the shape and the size of my body throughout the day. I will wake up with a body and fall asleep with a different body and just put that on repeat. Sometimes for just weeks on end. Very rarely will I feel like I'm experiencing like a similar body every day. It changes my face. You can see it at the moment because I'm inflamed and my endo's up and I'm sick. The shape of my nose, the size of my nose, because I have cystic acne in my nose. It's not really on the surface, but it's here and here and here. It literally changes the shape of my face. Right? Which was someone who like dealt with dysmorphia that really isn't present anymore. It's wild, right? To see that change and to know that it's real is pretty wild. So I will wake up with a different face than I had yesterday. And if I had made my goal in recovery to feel the same way every day about my body, every week, every year, it wouldn't even work for me in a 24-hour period. The process that I wish people would be more open about is that you're still going to have bad body image days. You're still going to have periods where you're not feeling super connected to your body. The work in recovery, I believe, and from the tenet of like body neutrality or philosophy of body neutrality that I come from, is to be as flexible and compassionate and curious about your body image as possible. to work to disconnect the eating disorder response to body image, to understand that body image is actually a really useful messaging system. Did I just say messaging? I don't care. It's a really valuable alarm system that tells us we're unwell, tells us things about our hormones, tells us things about our tiredness, tells us things about the people we spend time with who might be maybe not great people or triggering people or diet culture people that we spend time with, where when we're around them and we leave them, we get the physical ick, right? We get the body image flare up. Body image is a useful alarm system. It is not useful when eating disorder is utilizing it and upping the distress signal to 1,000,000 and interpreting those messages into disordered beliefs and disordered beliefs about you as a person and your worth and your value. That is the work that is worth doing in the recovery process, which is dismantling your body image from your eating disorder's use of it and disconnecting that. Because that is the difference for me now. I don't have a lot of bad body image days. Part of what I'm having at the moment is bad body image because I do feel so alien and so out of control of like how I'm going to feel every day, and so just over it, just over feeling how I'm feeling. And that has always been the thing which has really fueled my bad body image, and particularly being diagnosed with stage 4 endo after recovering. But very often it doesn't even reach that point. It doesn't even get to the point of my body image alarm going off, because I'm pretty good at recognizing and then intervening and doing the redirection that I need to do, and the comforting and the soothing and the self-care and the rest that I need to do to be able to like take care of myself before it even reaches like body image alarm system. There's just been so much, and I'm so run down that now it is kicking off the body image alarm, if that makes sense, right? It has to be pretty intense for that body image alarm to go off. Allowing yourself to have these feelings when they do come up is part of that dismantling and disconnection process as well. Because when these feelings come up and they're trying to send you a signal about, like I said, these other things like hormones, physical health, mental health, mood, who we're spending time with, who our influences are, what we're looking at, etc. It's trying to send us this helpful signal. Eating disorder jumps in and goes, oh, thank you, I'll take that, and I'm going to turn it into this other message, which is about your body's wrong, and if you don't want to feel this way, you need to do X, Y, Z and hurt yourself in the process. And if you can control intake and movement and cope through behaviors and control what you look like, then it's all going to be fixed, right? That is avoidance. That's because the original message that was coming through didn't get a chance to be resolved, because eating disorder jumped on and hijacked it and went, no, this is actually what it means. This is how you actually resolve this. Which, if you're watching these videos and you've done any amount of curious looking into recovery, you've probably started to figure out that's not true. That's avoidance. That's not a solution. The solution is in part letting yourself feel the feelings, tapping into what that message is trying to tell you, trying to get through the way that eating disorder scrambles it and tries to utilize it for its purposes, and get back to the core reason why that message might be showing up, why your body's sending you that signal, why it's registering in your brain in that way, and to be able to then intervene and redirect and actually meet those original needs which came up. Because my eating disorder was never going to fix endo. It's certainly not going to fix COVID and whatever's riding COVID's coattails. It's not going to fix my stress or my anxiety or, things that have happened in my past or whatever the original reasons were that used to flare up my body image. Not so much anymore, but that's certainly what the message was when it was showing up when I was unwell and becoming unwell. The evidence is all there that it is not the solution. It's a magic trick. Here's all these things that our body image is trying to tell us, and eating disorder is going, look over here, don't look over there, don't look at these core painful things that you don't want to deal with. Here, get stuck in all these patterns and routines and behaviors and numbers and calculations and blah, blah, blah. And all the while, this is just worsening and worsening and worsening and worsening. And this magic trick becomes less and less distracting. And finally, boom, like we actually have to look at it all, right? So the purpose of body image work is to reduce the distress to something which is more ordered, because the truth is people without eating disorder histories and zero predisposition to eating disorders or disordered eating, they have bad body image days too. Funny that. So we're trying to get the level of distress down to something that's more ordered, to something that is actually like a productive message if we can receive it and utilize it productively, and to disconnect the eating disorder response from that signal coming up, right? It's so much of what we do in the body neutrality workshop, which if you'd like to come and you're dealing with any of this stuff at any point of the body image process, please come and join us. It is amazing. We go so much deeper than I can go in a YouTube video, and into the skills and the tools and stuff that I use and have certainly been using for the last month. It's all online. You can join from anywhere. You can do it at your own pace. It's interacting with me. It's interacting with the group. You're not on camera or anything. You can do it all from the privacy of, being behind a screen and sharing privately, and me helping you unpack all this stuff that we're working on together. It's why I'm so passionate about not just like giving people skills and tools for body image is so important and such an untouched part of the recovery process, because I think people really don't know what to do with people until they get to the end of the process. And my position is not only we can help people with body image at any part of the process, we must, because it is such a barrier to people continuing through the stages of recovery. They hit these massive body image walls and they just get thrown backwards. And this is so much of what is underneath that, which is how are you hearing and interpreting bad body image? And then who is utilizing that message? There is nothing wrong with the message of bad body image, because if we really heard what it was about, it is trying to do something helpful for us. It's like that great metaphor. I think Megsy used to use this a lot in her videos, where she'd say, it's like you've got a tap that's leaking in your kitchen and you fix that by painting your bedroom. And it's like by the end of the day, the kitchen is flooded, and yeah, you might have a painted bedroom, but you didn't need that. You needed to attend to the actual issue, and you might have been avoidant and not thinking about the kitchen tap until boom, you walk back into your kitchen and you're ankle deep in water, right? It's so important to look at where you're setting your expectations and your goals and how you're thinking about the body image process generally. Because as angry and resentful as I am of my body, and as much as I'm letting myself feel that and express that, and I'm not fighting that and I'm not avoiding it, I also understand that my body is doing its best. The reason my joints hurt is because my immune system, as weakened as it is fighting as hard as it can. The reason why I sound like this and feel like this is because my body is doing the defensive thing. It's trying to get the virus contained in a way that then gets it out of my body. The reason it's making me so tired that I can't do anything is because it's the signal saying you need to rest. That's a great example where eating disorder would have told me back in the day, you're weak, you're lazy, you're this, you're that. That doesn't show up anymore. I mean, I still have feelings of I need to get stuff done, but I hear the signal and I honor it and I respond to it and I rest as much as I can, because that's the only way my body and I are going to get back on the same page. If I do the avoidant thing, I'm only prolonging how disconnected we can become and for how long, right? Whereas if I just go, I'm going to meet the inevitability now, which is that it is inevitable that I have to take care of myself in the way that my body is telling me it needs to be taken care of. My brain doesn't get to decide what my body needs. It is a part of my body, but in this part of the relationship, my brain is the passive one. It's the one that has to receive the message and go, okay, I hear you. What do you need? I'll do it. I would just really hope that people are being considered in where they're setting their body image expectations, how they're interpreting and viewing the messages their body might be trying to send them, and thinking about that relationship with their body through the lens of how they relate to other people, that we are much more flexible, open, curious, forgiving, empathetic, in riding the waves of our relationship with others. And that's precisely the goal here, is not actually the outcome we're trying to reach. It's the approach that we're trying to take forever, right? And once you're practiced at it, it's not like it's an everyday slog. It's not like, oh, well, Mia, you said that, you can be fully recovered and then you're doing the work still. This is just like general human being stuff. This is just general human being well-being maintenance, right? This isn't full-on recovery stuff every single day. And for some periods of time, I don't need to do it at all. But that's because when it does come up, I deal with it, right? I let it be. I let my body do what it needs to do. I let myself have my feelings. And then eventually we get on the same page again. So I hope that's helpful. Thanks for sticking through the whinge portion to get to the lesson and insight portion. Like I said, if you want to come and join us at the end of April, I'd love to have you. I love talking about this stuff with people because we get to have real conversations and give people real solutions, and meet them where they are and be able to get them through whatever part of the process of recovery they are at. So I'll leave that link in the comments, not the comments, the description box. The brain got on top of that one. We'll be back with another podcast episode next week. I'm going to be interviewing my best friend, Josie, and it's a beautiful, beautiful chat. And then the following week the following fortnight podcast will be Holly chatting with her bestie. And there'll be videos in between. The next video is going to be me reviewing terrible recovery advice that you guys sent me that you've received or seen out in the world. And that's going to be a really good one because as much as it's awful, I think we can bring some light and levity to it as well. Anyway, much love, take care, and I will see you all soon. Bye.